Okay, so like imagine slipping on a swimsuit, right?
Uh-huh.
And it can like measure the chlorine levels in a pool
Okay.
or even just pulling on a t-shirt
Yeah.
and it adjusts to your body temperature. Wild. Right.
Yeah, it's like something out of a movie or something.
Totally. And you know what's behind all that?
What?
Textile product developers?
Yeah.
The unsung heroes
Yes.
of like the material world, right?
Yeah.
You sent us some really cool info about this career path, by the way.
That's a good one.
I'm excited to dig in.
Yeah, me too.
So whether you're thinking about a career shift or you're like already working with these innovators or you just like to know how things work,
Right.
this deep dive is for you.
Absolutely. It's a really interesting blend of creativity and science.
Yep.
Like we're talking materials, science and chemistry, engineering. There's
Yeah.
not just like sketching designs.
That's what blew my mind, honestly.
Yeah.
When I was going through the research.
Right.
We just like take for granted
Totally.
how much goes into like how a t-shirt feels or even like the performance of, you know, those high-tech workout clothes.
Totally.
Can we talk about graphene for a sec?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This stuff is like
It's wide.
the superhero of materials
Oh.
and it's in our clothes.
It's in textiles. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So graphene is like 200 times stronger than steel,
Wow.
but it's also crazy lightweight and flexible.
Okay, so with
Yeah.
textiles, you're saying
Yeah,
it could make them really durable.
incredibly durable and
Yeah.
even conductive.
Okay, wait, so
Yeah.
conductive, so we're
So
talking
like clothes that can charge your phone or even monitor your heart rate.
next level.
I know, right?
Okay, that's amazing, but I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Let's back up for a sec.
Okay, sure.
What does a textile product developer actually DO all day?
Right.
Is it like all high-tech labs and fancy design studios?
Well, it can be. It depends. You know, it's a very diverse field. You might be in a design studio one day working on like the next generation of like, I don't know, like performance wear.
Okay.
And then the next day you might be at a manufacturing facility, making sure that the quality is good.
Okay.
Or even out in the field testing a new fabric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there are a lot of different environments where you could end up.
So you're saying it's not all glamour?
It definitely has its glamorous moments, especially if you like design.
Right.
But it's also a field where you know, have to get your hands dirty sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Like literally.
Yeah.
And it's also about soft skills too.
Okay.
Like reading comprehension and active listening. Those are really important for this job.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, it's true. And even above problem solving sometimes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why are those so important?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
You're constantly bombarded with information,
Right.
research papers,
Right.
design briefs,
Right.
client feedback. You've got to be able to process all of that and process it quickly.
That makes sense.
And active listening, that's huge too. Imagine you're working on a team with fashion designers, engineers, marketing, you name it.
That's a lot of different perspectives.
Right, and they all kind of speak different languages.
Oh, wow.
So as a textile developer, you kind of act as that bridge.
Okay.
You're translating these complex concepts, making
Right.
sure that everyone's on the same page.
So you're not just a scientist. You're like a communicator,
Yeah.
a problem solver, like a textile whisperer.
Uh-huh. I like that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So, like, it sounds like this job requires like a really unique blend of expertise, right? You need creativity.
Yeah.
And then like you have to be able to collaborate
Exactly.
with all these different people from different backgrounds.
Yeah, sure.
That's really cool.
Definitely.
Okay, so say someone is hearing this right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, this is my dream career. What kind of education should they be thinking about?
That's a good question.
Are we talking strictly fashion degrees here?
Fashion design is a common path, but it's not the only one. You could do textile engineering, material science,
Okay.
even something like business administration.
Really?
Yeah, especially if you want to be on the business side of things.
The material science angle is really cool, though.
It's interesting.
It's like combining your passion for design
Mhm.
with like this deep understanding of materials
For sure.
at like a molecular level.
It's very technical. Yeah.
That's really cool. Speaking of getting hands-on,
Yeah.
one of the things I thought was interesting in the research
Yeah.
was like the emphasis on internships and design competitions.
Right?
Like those are really important in this field, it seems like.
Absolutely. It's a competitive field, so having some experience can really give you an edge.
Yeah.
Gives you a chance to, you know, use your knowledge, build a portfolio,
Right.
and network with people in the industry.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's huge.
Put your foot in the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make those connections early.
That's so important. And it makes sense when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
This is such a dynamic field.
It's constantly changing. It's not like you just learn everything in school and then you're good to go.
Totally.
You've got to be a lifelong learner.
Right.
Stay on top of trends, new tech,
right,
and be pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Always experimenting.
Exactly.
So you've like aced all your classes.
Yep.
Maybe even won some design competitions.
Right.
Now you're ready to actually work.
It's an exciting time.
I bet.
It's a whirlwind.
What does that actually look like?
So
that first step on the ladder.
You're going to be assisting senior developers,
okay,
doing a lot of research, running tests.
Right.
Basically, you're there to learn as much as you can.
It's like a crash course.
Yeah, it's a steep learning curve, but it's really exciting.
I can imagine you're surrounded by like these experienced people working on like the coolest projects.
Definitely.
And you're actually seeing how what you learned in school applies to like the real world.
Totally. But you can't just be passive, right?
That's true.
You have to be proactive.
Okay, what does proactive look like?
Well, one thing you can do is join professional organizations.
Okay. Like networking and things.
Yeah, so like there's the AATCC.
The what?
AATCC.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it stands for the American Association of Textile Chemists and Colorists.
Oh, wow.
And then there's also the ITAA.
Okay.
Do you know that one?
I'm going to be honest. I had to look these up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I should probably know them, but...
It's the International Textile and Apparel Association.
Okay.
They're great for, like, continuing education, publications, events, networking.
So it's all about just, like, staying up to date
with
everything that's going on.
For sure.
Because it is such, like, a fast-paced field.
Oh, yeah.
Things are changing all the time.
All the time. You got to stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, so you're staying up to date.
Yeah.
You've got some experience under your belt.
Right.
What does that career progression actually look like?
It's interesting because there are so many different paths you can take.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not just like, you know...
like a straight line or something?
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Cool.
You could move into management, lead a team.
Okay.
Or even, like, start your own business if you wanted to.
Oh, wow.
That's always an option.
So many different options.
It's a very diverse field in that way.
That's really cool. You know, one thing that really stuck out to me in the research was sustainable textiles.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That seems to be like a really big thing now.
It's huge.
More than just a trend.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, people really care about this stuff.
It's not just consumers either.
Yeah.
Like, the whole industry is shifting in that direction.
That's really cool.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Like, did you know there are fabrics made from recycled plastic bottles?
No way.
Yeah, and even agricultural waste.
That's amazing.
I know, right? It's wild.
It's like, not only are you creating these incredible textiles, but you're also, like, helping the environment.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It's something that gets a lot of people excited these days. That, like, you can actually align your values with your work.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Okay, so let's say you've done all the things, right?
Yeah.
You've got the skills.
Right.
You're, you know, passionate about what you do. And it's interview time.
Okay.
Any advice for, like, really wowing those hiring managers?
Your portfolio is everything.
Okay.
That's your chance to really shine.
It's not just like a resume.
Yeah, it's more like...
It's got to be more than that.
It's a story. It's showing, not just telling.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to really show your journey.
It should be a reflection of you.
Yeah, totally. One of the interview questions that we found in the research was, can you walk me through your experience in textile product development?
Right.
It seems like so simple, but...
It's tricky, though.
Yeah, there's like an art to answering it.
You don't want to bore them.
Right.
But you also want to showcase your skills.
So how do you do that?
Well, you have to really highlight your thought processes.
Okay.
How you approach challenges.
Okay.
Your problem-solving collaboration.
Yeah.
It's not just about what you've done, but how you did it.
That makes sense. Because everyone has like different experiences.
Everyone has their own unique way of doing things.
And like different things that they learned along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what makes you stand out.
Okay, so paint a picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Show them who you are.
Don't just tell them, show.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, and then the other question that really stuck out to me.
What's that?
Was how do you balance design and functionality?
Right.
Which is like so key.
It's huge.
Because I feel like sometimes those things are like at odds.
Sometimes, yeah.
You can have the most beautiful fabric, right?
Yeah. Huh.
But if it falls apart after one wash,
Right.
what's the point?
It's got to function, too.
Exactly.
It's got to hold up in the real world.
Yeah. So what do you say to that?
You have to show them that you get it, you know?
Okay. Like, that you understand that balance is important.
Give, like, a specific example.
Yeah. Talk about a time when you really had to find that sweet spot between design and function.
Like a time when you had to get really creative to, like,
yeah, exactly.
find that perfect balance.
Exactly. Show them you can think critically and come up with solutions.
It's a real art, you know?
It is.
Finding that balance.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's what makes these textile product developers so valuable, you know?
Yeah.
They can bridge those two worlds.
Totally. Totally.
Design and science.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a tough job, for sure.
Oh, I bet.
But it's also super rewarding.
I can imagine.
Like you're creating the future.
Yeah. Speaking of the future,
Okay.
what about AI and all that?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's the big question. Right.
It's everywhere these days.
It's everywhere, so how is it going to affect this field?
Right.
That's what everyone wants to know.
Are we going to have robots on the runway designing our clothes?
Some people are worried about that, you know?
Yeah.
That automation is going to, like, replace designers.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's going to be more like a tool.
Okay.
Like, it'll help us be even more creative.
Oh,
push the boundaries even further.
So more of a collaboration.
Exactly. Like, imagine AI looking at tons of data.
Okay.
Fashion trends, what people like, right? And then, like, suggesting designs that we wouldn't have even thought of.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's like having, like, an AI assistant.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Helping you come up with new ideas.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
And I think that's where it's all headed, you know?
Where it's all headed.
This blend of human creativity and, like, the power of technology.
Yeah, yeah.
And using all of that to, you know,
yeah,
solve problems, make things better.
And make the world a better place.
Exactly.
Like textile.
Yeah, with textiles.
I love that.
It's a powerful tool.
It is.
When you think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
So, okay, to kind of wrap things up here.
Yeah.
It seems like the future of this field, textile product development, is really about, like,
innovation.
Yeah.
Pushing boundaries.
Totally.
And, you know, just like using your creativity to make the world a better place.
Yeah, one stitch at a time. I love it.
One stitch at a time. I like that.
For our listeners out there, whether you're like a science person or you love fashion or you're just curious about, you know, how we get the clothes in our bags.
Totally.
I hope this deep dive has given you, like, a little peek.
Yeah, a little glimpse.
Behind the curtain.
Into the world of fabrics.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cool field.
It is.
There's so many possibilities.
Endless.
And, you know, who knows? Maybe you'll be designing those self-healing fabrics.
Right. Or those mood-changing clothes.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be something?
It would be amazing.
That's the future.
That is the future. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
This was fun.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep your curiosity alive.